Hello YouTubers, what is going on? Let us talk about more transition things. I'm lazy. I was actually not supposed to even put my makeup or do anything. But here's an interesting scenario happening in my head. Since I had a messed up dose for a while, and technically I started my transition 3 months ago. Even though I started taking hormones a year and a half ago. Literally, my body just stabilized to this new dose 3 months ago. So I'm new toy. Okay, anyway. So what I'm realizing is me trying to speed up or help the transition or improve my estrogen interaction did more harm than good. So do not. Advice. Please do not. You don't need to actually monitor your estrogen. You don't need to monitor what your body is going through. You don't need to monitor how to improve your transition. All you need to do is eat and exercise a little bit and pretty much keep yourself healthy. Now, what I did wrong was I was already worried that I was already 30 because that's when I started taking my hormones. And because I was 30, I already wasted a whole lot of time. And now I'm wasting a lot more just trying to push things. But, so, me trying to speed up the process, meaning I was trying changes. So every 3 months, I was changing something. So when I first started my hormone replacement therapy, I actually did a very high dose because I wanted to speed it up. Then 3 months later, I had, I think, 440 pgml levels of E2, estrogen, which was pretty high. My feet were swollen, I had edema, everything was horrible. And then eventually I realized, oh damn. Actually, a friend of mine told me, you're probably overdosing. Then when I met my endocrinologist, I told him not gonna wait for y'all. I came here prepared and you told me to wait 7 months, maybe 8 months. And I'm like, I was already ready at the time. I'm not gonna wait. So eventually I lowered my dose 3 months after that. And that was also kind of pretty high because my prolactin was pretty high. So every 3-4 months in the past 1.5 years, I changed something. And what I realized is not only that estrogen doses changed, I also changed my eating habits, my exercise habits, because I wanted my hips to grow. Not really big onto the breasts. I would love to have some breasts, honestly, but I think I always like to be skinny. So I like the model aesthetics. I'm tall, so I can definitely pull it off. Now, fast forward to 3 months ago, when I stabilized my estrogen, I started adding more things. So I added protein shakes, I added magnesium, and now I'm adding like B complex vitamins. So I'm always changing something, and I'm realizing I haven't really stuck to one routine just for a long time. And this is literally what's been harming me. Instead of me figuring out, just stick to one thing and let my body actually do the work, I keep changing of diet, changing of food, changing of estrogen dose, changing of whatever. So the realization, don't do that. And this is when I learned after a very horrible week last week. I was very depressed, cried a couple of times, but then actually everything kind of hit. I read Reddits about estrogen, Reddits about exercise. I went to ChatGPT and also asked the same questions. I went to DeepSeek and asked a couple of different AIs because I went to like nutritions online on YouTube to watch what they're talking about. Everything was pretty much leading to do not change anything, eat healthy. It doesn't mean just like consume less calories or whatever. Just keep whatever you're eating and do not over-consume junk food or sugars. Like, just give your body time to process, but also let your estrogen settle down. So exercise is actually a very important part of the transition I'm realizing, because I used to be very athletic and I stopped that completely because I wanted to grow. Obviously, that backfired. Not because of my caloric intake. Actually, it seems that it backfired because instead of dropping my dose gradually from like 8 to 4 grams, which would have taken time, I was definitely always impatient, I decided to drop it sharp. This week I did 8. The next week I did completely like 3.8, I think. I jumped like really wrong. Bad idea. Because then that my body started like really freaking out, and because of this change, it actually cost me probably more time than just doing a month of transition from 8 to 4 and then letting it sit from 4. But then I just did like, I'm not gonna waste a month just dropping it from 8 to 4. I'm gonna go from 8 to 4 directly, and then I'll let my body do the changes, whatever. Horrible. Was depressed for no reason. Hated my body. My body started getting upper body puffiness, and yeah, like everything was just chaos. My body, poor thing, has been just suffering for the past year and so. So what do we get from this? What I got from this is what I want you to know, is do not change too many things. I would say consistency is pretty good. I learned my lesson, definitely. I hope so. But I just bought some exercise clothing, not because I want to build upper body muscle. I'm mostly doing cardio and leg cardio, which I think is pretty useful. And what we're getting from this is moving the blood, because your estrogen is your blood flow. And if you have a better heart, a better blood flow, meaning less congestion, less inflammation, less, puffiness, your body would actually move better all the blood that you brought in, which contains estrogen. And also it would be moving better into feminizing you, because the better the flow of blood, the better the workers can do their job. So imagine yourself hiring people to work in a swamp to build you a house, or in a flat land in, I don't know, Idaho. Sorry, Idaho. Midwest. Or if you're not from the States, any flat land, pretty much. It's probably easier to bring trucks and things in a flat land and just start building. In a swampy land, I don't know if you can do that. This is kind of what I did to my body. I just kind of brought things and made it just drown in muck. Yeah, I think about it now and I'm like, wow, I was the cause everything went wrong, obviously. But here's the thing. Exercise is good because what I'm reading about right now is if I am burning and using my body is going to be taking energy from, usually, because I'm estrogen dominant, from masculine fat areas. Meaning, my body is going to target the easiest access, which would be up here, because everything's here, close to the heart, pump, pump, pump. Also, estrogen is saying, this area is not important, what are we doing? Just take some of this. I hope that's happening. Then also, because in the evening, I'm eating healthy nuts, I'm adding some carbs, I'm adding a little bit of excess calories. That if it becomes excess energy or excess fat, it would go to the feminine area. So that would go to my hips and breasts and everything else in my face and stuff thinner. So you can actually exercise and have excess calories, and you will be losing weight in the upper part of your body if you have that, and then you'll be gaining weight or gaining fat in the lower part. So you're literally doubling the speed of the feminization of your body, which I'm hoping for. Regardless, I'm not going to be actually trying to change this from now on, because I think exercise is good for the blood flow. Nothing crazy. I do like a 30-minute cardio, focusing on legs mostly and abs. I avoid my upper arm and just like move my arms. No weights, no push-ups, nothing. Maybe later. But for now, when my body is actually trying to lose upper body mass and increase lower body mass, I think this is the best way because even if I use my legs, muscles will get bigger. So if they don't get bigger with fat, they'll get bigger with muscle. Right. So do a little cardio, get your body pumping. Blood flow is pretty good. And then also eat, but not too much, but not too little. Do not restrict much. I would say sedentary life is not your best choice. And this is what I did. But also try not to start with a strong dose and cut it off. I would say start low and slowly increase because your body probably would prefer this, but stick to the same dose. That's the only thing I get from all of this is I need to stick to the same dose, the same food, the same boring routine, which I'm not good at. I'm not good at sticking to things. But I'm gonna be heading out to get some food. Waiting for my freaking Amazon package to get here, but I don't know where it is. Anyway, see you later.